What's new, fam? This is Slam, and you're through to my Pokemon tag. This is probably going to be a Slam session, I guess, or something. Probably have something playing in the background. Not too sure, but you guys are free to pretty much just leave this in the background and listen as I talk. Basically, I'm just going to answer a bunch of questions that have been assigned to me by Jedi Cardat, who I'll leave his channel in the description down below. If you haven't checked him out already, you can go check him out. He does some VGC stuff that's quite interesting in a minute. He's trying to use a lot of stuff that's not commonly used in the VGC metagame and try to make it work. So you can go see. That's pretty interesting. You go watch that. That's good fun. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get into this. I'm not really gonna do my normal kind of intro because it's not really one of my own videos. It's more of a kind of a Pokemon community thing that I'm just taking a part in. But if if you want, if you, and you know where the like button is, you know where the subscribe button is. I'm not going to tell you. If you want to, you can. If you don't have to, on this kind of, you don't have to anyway. But I mean, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But the first question is my favorite type. I think that pretty much speaks for itself. It's going to have to be electric. Yep, electric. And number two is my favorite region. It's definitely going to have to be, I guess, in ways of exploring. Kalos was my favorite region just because it's been the one that I've like out of all the games I've ever played, it's definitely been the one I've had the most fun exploring. Uh, just because when you sit down visually and actually playing the game in front of you, it looks so beautiful. And I know the older games couldn't display it as well as they did, but I mean, it's just I don't know, like even like the original areas and stuff like Gen One, Gen Two, and even like Hoenn and stuff. I guess I just played Hoenn too much for the region to actually be my favorite. I didn't like it for the region. I liked it for the fact that it had the I don't know. I don't enjoy that much traveling around Hoenn as much as I did traveling around Kalos. So it's a bit of a controversial one. I know it's sixth gen and everyone's like, "Ugh, sixth gen," but whatever. My third question is, what Pokemon games do you currently own? I own a copy of Pokemon Yellow, a copy of Pokemon Emerald, and a American copy of Pokemon X to go with my. Oh yeah, mom's just singing in the background. Hopefully that doesn't come through. But yeah, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Emerald, and a copy of Pokemon X, which is an American one that goes with my American 3DS, which I got when I was in America. America, fuck yeah. Um, I don't know where that came from, but which let's go on. Like, which gender do you play? Normally, normally it's male. Normally, I pick the male character, but sometimes I do pick the female character. I picked a female character in X and Y in my second playthrough on Pokemon Y. I mean, because I played X and I have a male character on X, but I played through again on Y when I got an English 3DS and stuff like a capture card, and I picked a female character just because I don't know. I wanted to check out the female customization. It's not really. It doesn't really. I don't. I know it's like a role playing game and stuff like that. And it might be, ooh, you're picking a female character. What are you, like gay or whatever? But I don't see it in that way. My mind's not that close minded. It's basically just me picking a character that I want to use, and I wanted to play as a female character. It's as simple as that. If I don't. It's not really. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't really matter to me which character I play. Really male or female, just depending on how I want the game to unfold visually for me. Do I want to play as a female character and go around pretending to be? I don't know. It's a weird question. Which gender do you play? It's kind of because it's trying to really gender biased question. I guess most people are going to say I only play guys because I'm a guy, and most girls are going to play I only play girl because I'm a girl. But you don't have to be those roles because you're in a video game. Um, yeah. Do you watch the Pokemon anime? I used to when it first came out. I watched like season one, then a bit of season two, but by then it was just so samey and samey. I've gone back and I've watched like the latest ones, and oh my god, they're just it's the same storyline, just rehashed for a new season. I don't. I guess like people that come into the series new on like X and Y and stuff are going to be, oh, this is fantastic. But if you've been around Pokemon as long as I have since Gen 1, you just realize that all the seasons are the same, just like enhanced graphics. And I don't know, I feel the Pokemon games offer more variety towards the actual story of Pokemon, since you actually get to play as it yourself and not just watch someone else do it. Uh, and first shiny encounter is questions. Ooh, oh, sorry. Which Pokemon games you own was question three. Sorry. Which gender do you play? Was question four. Do you watch the Pokemon anime? Was question five, and question six is first shiny encounter. That was a shiny Pawniard in X and Y. I had never found a shiny until X and Y. I'd only played Gen 1, Gen 3, and Black 2, and then picked up X and Y. But X and Y was when I actually first found a shiny, and I hatched it from my egg. It didn't have a competitive nature, it didn't have a competitive ability, and it had good IVs though, goodish IVs. So I boxed it and I called it first because it's my first ever shiny. I think it's still sitting on my American 3DS, just in that box. You know, it wouldn't go anywhere. I'm not going to get rid of it because it's my first shiny. Um, if And question number seven: if Pokemon were real, what would you like to achieve? If anyone doesn't say that they want to be the Pokemon champion, then I guess their aspirations aren't high enough in real life. I guess I don't want to be biased, and some people might just want to be a move tutor or something. I guess that's also a thing. But Pokemon were, yeah. I'd like to be the champion. I'd definitely I'd strive to be the best in whatever I want to be. It sounded like I'm applying for a job or something, but um, yeah, it's I say basically way too much. Like basically. This is going to be full of my little kind of idiosyncrasies. Is that even the right word? But it's going to be like full of my like, ums and me repeating same word over and over again while I try to actually think about what I'm saying. I don't think I'm actually going to cut this out either. Maybe because people just like listening to the sound of my voice. I'm not too sure, but we'll find out, I guess. So sorry about that. It's kind of moving the wafting of the paper around. And yeah, I definitely like to be the champion, but I don't want to be a dick kind of champion. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm the champion. Kind of more inclined to be like Steven in Emerald, where he's like, oh yeah, I used to be the champion like at one point in time, but now I'm just around to help you, help you as a player become better at the game, and blah blah. And you team up with him and stuff. I thought that was cool. I'd definitely be that kind of champion where I'd probably like smash everything, but also be helpful um, to everyone else. And why do you love Pokemon? Um, I guess any kind of role-playing game like Pokemon is, any kind of game like that where you can actually pick up a character and customize it or whatever and make it the best that it can be, and like you get the best kind of team ever possible in Pokemon. I guess, or for a certain Let's Play or whatever, or for a Nuzlocke and blah 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 blah. But anything in which you can actually like just customize yourself within a role playing game, that's mostly what I strive for. And if it has to be competitive as well. So I mean, this isn't just applied to Pokemon. I play some MMOs. I play some Guild Wars 2, some Ion Online, if people know what that is. I've played Final Fantasies before in my past. Um, no, I've played some really weird kind of MMOs that people are probably going to Google, like Conquer Online. That was, oh my god, that was so bad, but that's just like an MMO RPG where you can just get your own character, name it, and level up and blah blah and have fun. And then there was Rising Force Online, other known as RF Online. Maybe someone's played that too. I've never touched RuneScape. I played World of Warcraft for about 10 minutes and turned that off because that was just dreadful. But yeah, any kind of RPG where I can be competitive and make my own characters, normally where I tend to turn my focus in games. And sorry about all this background noise, but everyone just keeps sort of walking through. I have to sit in the middle room where it's just kind of in the middle of everyone else's room and just sit here, and so people just walk in and out all the time. It's so annoying. Um, yeah. And do you collect the Pokemon trading cards? Um, no, I used to when I was younger. I used to have loads of them. I kept used to getting Chansey. Like I always used to get Chansey, and all the kids at school were like, "Wow, you got Chansey? Trade me!" It's like so rare, and I, like every time I'd open up like a new pack, I get another Chansey. It's like I don't know, my luck was just really good, or whether like other kids' luck was really really bad. But Chansey just seemed to be so common, so I had a ton of chances to trade around. That was when I was younger, and then I lost all my cards. I don't know what happened. I also lost all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Bit of an off-topic there, but I mean, it's a trading card game anyway. But I had loads of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They were more favorite to me than Pokemon were, but I lost them too, so they're gone. And do you collect the cards or play? Or did you collect the? Well, I guess it would be did you collect the cards for me because I used to. Yeah, I literally only collected them. I just liked the holographics, the shinies, and blah blah blah, and I liked how they looked, and I just basically went for all the shinies. Just because they look cool. And it's like, look, I was young, I was naive, and it's like, I have a shiny, I have a shiny. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's bad, as long as it looked good on the card, that's what it mattered to me. Um, and I never knew how to actually play the game because you had to get energy cards and blah de blah blah. So whenever I actually used to do like an actual Pokemon battle with my brother, because he had the cards too, we just used to play it like Yu-Gi-Oh, where we just select our move and use it, and it never really worked out that well, to be honest. Um, and I've completely forgot to name all these to tell you which question these are, but oh my god. I guess people. I don't know, but number 11 now. We're on number 11. Do you draw? If so, show some. I do draw. Um, not all the time, and I kind of have to really be inspired or be in the mood to do something. I'm probably managing to show you some pictures of my drawings I've took right now on the screen. You can judge them if you want, or you can just be like, "Oh wow, they're nice," or "Oh wow, they're awful." It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it's a drawing. It's a representation of something I've seen, and then I've managed to draw it out, so it can be misinterpreted, of course. Um, and yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I draw, but I really have to be inspired. Like if I really don't want to draw, I'm so bad. I'm so bad, and I can't just draw off the top of my head. I can't just think of something and draw because my mind just keeps thinking about something new. My what I'm putting on paper just comes becomes so skewed and weird. It's like a like a, is it Van Gogh that did all the weird stuff, or Monet, or whatever it is, like that did all the weird stuff. It just comes out like that, and that's not the kind of I don't really like doing that kind of stuff. It just looks like a mess. Um, and number 12 is favorite Pokemon. Uh, hmm, this is gonna actually be pretty bit tough one. I mean, I'm inclined to say Luxray because it's my mascot, of course. Uh, and Luxray is pretty cool because it's a lion and all, but uh, what do I say to this? Favorite Pokemon? Um, yeah, just come through and make all the fucking noise. Um, favorite Pokemon? This is gonna be a toughie. This is gonna be a while. Might have to cut this bit down, but favorite, I guess maybe I'm inclined to say Luxray, but I'm inclined to say also Aggron because that used to be my mascot on my other channel, PKM and Gravager. Um, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go through. I'm gonna go not go through. I'm gonna go for the Pokemon that I've found to be the most helpful to me throughout every gen I've played, and I guess helpful, I guess, in an actual like normal playthrough, and in general, I guess yeah, I guess I'd have to go for my very first favorite Pokemon to actually answer this correctly. My very first ever favorite Pokemon, because I've had lots and lots of different favorite Pokemons, but my very first ever favorite of the favorite Pokemon has to have been Nidoking. because even now, you know, 6 gens on later, it can still rock it with the best in OU, and it has pretty much no fucking switch-ins at all whatsoever, other than Chansey or a Pink Blob or something like that. But nothing else wants to swap into an Edo King. I'm telling you now, you can do the calcs whatever if you want, but it just if it has a different moveset, you're completely fucked. And you know, all it has to do is swap in between flamethrower and ice beam for the last move, and it determines no, not flamethrower and ice beam. I mean, earth power, sludge wave, ice beam, and then it can swap in between flamethrower and T-bolt for the last move to determine how many switch-ins it's really gonna have. But then again, with sludge wave being so good, it doesn't really need that bolt beam combination anymore. I don't know, whatever. But it's so freaking awesome and powerful. How could I not love it? Nido King, definitely Nido King. Um, and question 13, unlucky 13, is favorite two Pokemon designs. Jesus Christ, who put this one as number 13? Definitely knew the definition of an unlucky 13, because favorite two Pokemon designs, I'm going to go with, I'm going to get through this one actually quite quick. I'm going to go for Nidoking, because, you know, it's just a boss. It looks like it just it looks like he's about to smash your face in. Like, it's just like, he's so powerful. It looks so angry. It's like, rawr. And, you know, he just looks like he's going to hurt something. And he definitely does. And looks right, of course, because it's a lion. Basically, see, you know, Shinx is a little cub, but then it evolves into a Luxio, which is a bit more of a kind of a teenage lion, and then becomes a full-blown lion when it becomes Luxray, which is cool. You know. You know, can't go wrong with a lion Pokemon, can you really? I don't care what. Don't even bother putting down in the comments down below that Luxray is not a lion type Pokemon, because the evidence I will, you know, go on to give you afterwards will put you to shame. and yeah, and question 14 is favorite legendary Pokemon. This one is actually quite easy for me. Out of all the legendaries available to me, definitely my most favorite is Latias. That's Latias. That's the red one. It's not Latios. It's kind of hard to pronounce with an English accent, I guess. Maybe it's a bit easy with a American one, or probably even easier with a Japanese one, which I'm not going to do because, you know, that would sound racist. But yeah, Latias, the big red one, just because it's like it's bulky, it looks more chilled. Like Latios seems, because it's more offensive, I always feel it's more aggressive, and I like that Latias is, you know, more defensively built and it's a bit more chilled, laid back. It's more like it's more like take it around like I'm gonna be able to take a hit, come in and then do whatever. I guess where Latios can kind of not really take those hits as well and come in and stuff. So I like it that it's, you know, its typing is nice, Dragon Psychic, with Levitate. I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah, I don't even. It's my favorite legendary. We're just gonna leave it at that. Um, question 15 is my first Pokemon encounter that surprised me with its design. Now, I don't know if this means to surprise me with its design is in like, wow, that's really fucking bad, because that would be Paris, and you know, Paris or Parasect. And if it's going to be like, wow, that design is really amazing, the first Pokemon that I can think of that ever stood out as being really awesome looking is, of course, Charizard. Simple as that. Simple as that. Charizard just looked like a boss, you know. It's the first Pokemon you get. I mean, it evolves from a little Charmander, then it becomes a dragon. Like, well, pretty much it should have been Dragon Fire, and then like Gen 6, like just gave it that Dragon Fire typing, and it just looks so good. And even Charizard Y looks beautiful as well. I don't know how you could not be shocked by how beautiful, and I don't see how you can be surprised or shocked by how beautiful Charizard actually is. Um, yeah, and I don't say like I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I can't even remember what I said. I'm just kind of talking and talking and talking, trying to get through these as quickly as possible, but with as much detail as possible as to why I'm picking them. So I'm probably just rambling on a bit too much. 16 most scary Pokemon to verse competitively. To go against competitively. Um, I guess initially, really, it has to be Charizard right now in 6th gen, just because it can either be Y or X. I mean, normally you can tell by the makeup of the team, and this is just in singles as well, because like normally in like 99.9999% of the time in VGC it's going to be Y. But I mean, yeah, in Charizard with its new Mega Evolutions, Y, it's Y has a certain switching and X has a different switching, and X is a lot harder to switch in than Y is as well. So I mean, if it's X, you're completely screwed. I mean, I always had such problems with Charizard X in the past. Um, Not so much really. I haven't really seen it used that much from Wi-Fi. They don't just bring Y in and they just manage to ball it for days. But X is a lot more awkward around. I mean, it doesn't really have that many good switch-ins. Probably like Rhyperior and a defensive like Tyranitar does well against it. But like if it can belly drum or if it can swords dance, it can dragon dance as well. Depending, it's just, oh my god, what do you do? Like, do you go for the outspeed or do you? It's so awkward. It's so awkward. It's actually so good. It's the reason why Landorus T runs Jolly over Adamant, just so it could be able to actually try to outspeed Adamant Charizard X's. But then Charizard X's started running Jolly, and so there's no fucking chance in hell that you can outspeed it now with Landorus T. It's just so fucking. It's so hard to play against Charizard X, and I don't think anyone would disagree with me on that front because it's just so powerful with Tough Claws and Flare Boost and Outrage and Dragon Claw and I've even used a Focus Punch Charizard X, which actually does surprisingly a lot of work. Sub Punch, because I can sub, roost, Focus Punch, and then I either use Dragon Claw or Flare Blitz, whatever I want. And oh my god, the switching is just turning to zero because you think you can swap in Rhyperior? Swapping Rhyperior? No, Rhyperior gets Focus Punch, which almost OHKOs, and that's in a defensive set. And then the next hit from a Dragon Claw finishes you off, and then like obviously Tyranitar gets OHKO'd by Focus Punch and blah blah blah. Heatran still gets OHKO'd by Focus Punch without freaking Earthquake on as well. So, oh my god, there's all these kind of things that you can't even dare to swap into if it like the sets on it are just. I guess. I mean, the Smogon standard sets are always going to be easy to swap into because every noob is just going to click the buttons and stuff. But if you actually verse someone that's actually good at battling and they use Charizard X, that is scary as hell. I'm telling you now. Question 17. If Pokemon were real and I could own one, what would I choose? I'd definitely choose Luxray because they'd have my own little lion. And as well, if you have seen the Pokemon anime, there's a bit, probably showing it on screen now just for a tiny bit, where Pikachu's trying to hide from Luxray that's attacking, and Luxray's eyes just glow up and it sees through the bush that Pikachu's in, and then just attacks that exactly where Pikachu is, so Pikachu has to run away and stuff and blah blah blah. So that's a pretty cool ability, the fact that, like you can pretty much see through any area, like see through anything with his glowing eyes. So if I was to walk down like a street at night or something, and there was a little shortcut between like two, I don't know, through like in between some houses, and there's a dark way, and I was like, can't really see down there. I know it's a shortcut, but if I can't see down there, I'm not going to go down there. I'll just take the long way around to be safe, of course, as you should do. But if I had a Luxray, I could be just like, can you have a look down there? Is there anything down there? And it's like, yeah, it's fine, boss. Let's go, and then we could just go, and that'd be awesome. And using those Pokemon abilities in real life would really be quite nice. And do your family play Pokemon? Nah, not really. No, no, not at all. Not really. I guess they might. My sister plays it. I guess I've seen her play like some ROM hacks on and off, but it's not really playing Pokemon if you're just doing it like, I guess, like just once in a blue moon kind of thing. Um, 19, first team you beat the Elite Four with. It wasn't really a team, to be honest. It was just Nidoking and Blastoise. That was it. I didn't need anything else. I had Nidoking with Earthquake. Did it get? I don't think you get Earthquake in the first one. Maybe it had like Thrash or something. Yeah, I think it had Thrash. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think you got Earthquake in the first gen. Did you not get Earthquake in first gen? I don't think. Don't know if you did. I don't think you did. You might have done. I'm just completely wrong, but I think it was Earthquake or Thrash, one of those two, and then Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for the Elite Four. That the ice moves took out freaking the dragons at the end. The fire moves took out the ice. Yeah, I could just use freaking whatever I wanted really on the ghost because the ghosts were easy as hell, and I could just T-bolt the water mons as well. Or the water slash ice mons. I'm pretty sure she had like a dugong or something. I can't remember. It's been ages since Gen 1, but that was the first time I've ever beat the Elite Four, and I would have done that when I was like, oh god, what, 95? So I would have been like 7 or 8, something like that. So yeah, it's a long time ago. Um, and do you hide? Oh, the next question. Sorry, question 20. Do you hide the fact that you like Pokemon? It's a bit of a weird question. It's not like I go out like singing in the streets like I love Pokemon, blah 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 blah. I won't force it down everyone's throat that I like Pokemon. I'm not that type of guy. But if someone says, "Oh, yeah, I like Pokemon. Do you like Pokemon?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I like Pokemon." But yeah, it's kind of a weird question. I don't necessarily hide it, but I don't, I won't deny that I like Pokemon, but I won't also go around and tell everyone that I do like Pokemon. It's kind of a weird question to answer. Sorry, but if it's not really, if I wasn't really that specific, hopefully people understand what I was trying to mean. No, trying to mean. As you can see, my English is getting quite bad this late on. Um, do you have any pets that resemble Pokemon? Now, this is probably going to be a bit of a long answer, but the reason why I have Luxray as my mascot is because it's a lion type Pokemon, as I've said. But also, I had a cat that passed away. We had to put it down because it had a terrible accident, or we hope it was an accident because what happened to it was just awful. And I'd hoped that someone actually hadn't done that to him on purpose. But yeah, he couldn't really walk. He didn't. He had his spine was broken. He had like internal injuries and stuff like that. So he had to be put down. There's nothing really we could do for him, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I always used to call him my little lion because he always had such spirit as a little kitty, and he was kind of like the runt at the litter as well. And I don't know, he always had such spirit. He'd always like he'd play for you, be really really fierce, like arr, arr, kind of stuff. Like you put your hand down, and you go at it like you're a mouse or something, or you're his prey. He was so fierce, but he was also so calm and gentle as well at the same time. So uh, yeah, but and he and like even at the end, I'm not really gonna go into much detail, but like even at the end when he couldn't really walk, bless him because of what happened, he'd still like he'd if I was sitting down in the living room and stuff, and I was just sitting down and watching over him, making sure he's okay and stuff. He'd see me and bless him. He tried to get up and he tried to walk over to me, but he just couldn't get himself up. But yeah, that's the kind of fighting spirit he had, like all throughout, because he was such a runt as well, and he wasn't really that big. But yeah, I always used to call him my little lion. So having Luxray as my mascot is my homage to him, and hoping he's going to actually help me out in doing YouTube and blah blah. I guess and he just keeping me strong, really, because before I would have gave up long ago by the fact that I don't get any views on my videos. I really I wouldn't have cared. I would have gave up. But now that I've got him by my side in the form of Luxray, I've got this whole new perspective on what I'm doing for Pokemon, and I just upload. I have fun what I'm doing, and if people watch it, they watch it. That's cool. That's cool beans. But I just want to do what I want to do and what makes me happy, and he's by my side helping me do that. So that's good. Um, and 22 most hated Pokemon. Now this varies. This varies. This really does. Depending on Mostly depends on whether I'm doing like a let's play and whether something really just fucks me over in a let's play. Like before, it used to be Ludicolo because I did a Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke and I got to the end and the champion's Ludicolo double teamed up and I couldn't hit it. And then it just kept using Leech Seed and Surf, or was it something Surf and Giga Drain it has as well. And I had to sit there using Hyper Potions on my Pokemon just to stall out its PP until the thing struggled to death because it was at +6 evasion and I couldn't touch it. That's when I hated Ludicolo. But now if you go check out my versus Blaze Black and Volt White versus with Dom Fanatic, I'll leave a link to his channel down below, so you can go check that out if you want. Um, my new pet hate of Pokemon is going to be Litwick, because I came across a Litwick in Volt White, because I'm playing Volt White on his channel. And yeah, it has Minimize, Confuse Ray, Fire Spin, and Smog. So I had a Pokemon that was poisoned, trapped by Fire Spin, and then he was minimized at like +6 or something, and confused, and I kept hitting myself in confusion, and it's just, oh my god, and whenever I could break through I never could hit him, so it was so annoying. It's so Litwick is now my new most hated Pokemon currently. It'll probably go away after a while, but I don't know when the. Oh yeah, but just talking about that as well, we're doing, like I said, doing Blaze Black and Volt White. A little plug in the middle, at the end of this video, I guess, a little plug. We're doing Blaze Black and Volt White over on the Don Fanatics channel, and if you like that, our little verses, we have actually briefly talked about doing a Blaze Black 2 and a Volt White 2 over on my channel as well. So you go subscribe to Don to go see, me on his channel, and vice versa. I guess it doesn't even work vice versa, because like if you're here, you probably subscribe to me anyway. But whatever. Um, um yeah. And favorite evolution is question number 23. This is a tough one because every single evolution is beautiful, and if you disagree with me, I will fight you in the street. Espeon, beautiful. Jolteon, beautiful. Vaporeon, beautiful. Flareon, beautiful. Glaceon, beautiful. Leafeon, beautiful. Have I missed anyone? Oh yeah, Sylveon. Sylveon's beautiful. Uh, not so much, but I guess it's still pretty beautiful. A shiny Sylveon's really nice, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, favorite evolution out of all of those, I'm inclined to say Jolteon, because of course I love electric types. But I think I'm actually going to go with Leafeon on this one, because if you just look at Leafeon, it's so gracious, so beautiful, just. And the stats as well, got good stats, very good defensive bulk, and blah blah. So I go for Leafeon on that one, just so I don't actually spam it just with electric types. um, and favorite weather to use, it's a toss up between hail and sand, because I love that hail. Hail uses like a bomb of snow, and they kind of eat 100% accurate blizzards, which is quite nice, and blah blah. I mean, and the whole kind of store rain that used to exist, that was quite fun, with like ice body and stuff and blah blah. But um, yeah, and hell teams are quite fun to and really weird to build, because it's like one of those teams where you don't actually just have a full dedicated team to abusing hail, because you have to have like people that can set up trick room as well, and blah blah blah, and you have to have like a lot of Pokemon. You have to have like Heatran as well, pretty much on a hell team, because otherwise like you're just gonna get walled by like Ferrothorns and all this kind of crap, and you have to get rid of so many like Pokemon. You have to have a switch into fire moves as well, which is why you have Heatran and blah blah blah, because you're just so fire weak. You need Heatran on your team. That's how bad it is. Um, I guess you don't really need Heatran. I guess you get Hell Room can work in low tiers, of course. If you have like a Flash Fire, you use like Typhlosion. But it's just that Heatran's so bulky, and you have to really set up Trick Room and Hail. You're gonna need something with Flash Fire that can definitely stick around. Which and yeah, but as it goes in like team building, like easiest weather team for me to build, and actually just put 6 months together. Sand is the easiest, because I used to run a lot of sand teams in 5th gen, and I can easily just throw 6 months together in a sand team. I know exactly what I need to do, and blah blah blah. And yeah, so favorite, most easiest weather to use for me, sand, but favorite weather overall gotta be hail. And question number 25, favorite Deoxys form. I haven't really used much of them. I know Speed was in OU for a while in 6th gen, but I didn't really use it. And I actually prefer to use Deoxys Defense, just because it's bulky, and like at the time when I was using it, I needed something that could swap into both Mega Lucario forms, take a hit at +2, and then T-wave it, which is what which is what, oh pardon me, sorry, which is what Deoxys defense could do with the spread I gave it. So that's what I went for, and that's what I used. And also, it kind of like gave me some kind of taunt. It gave me like a taunt user. I could use taunt, T-wave, recover, and I think it's seismic toss on it. It's a bit of a weird set for Deoxys defense. I know it's normally a suicide lead you should use to get up a lot of hazards, but I use it in a stally way just to have a good switch into Mega Lucario, so I could T-wave it and then KO with my Heatran. That was how I got around Mega Lucario when it was in. So I didn't really have a good switch in, as no one really did, but whatever. That's the only Deoxys form I've ever used. So that's the only one I can actually make a judgment on. Sorry. Um, and 26 Articuno, Zapdos or Moltres. It's a bit of a hard one. I mean, Articuno is beautiful. Despite Zapdos being an electric type, which I should pick. Articuno is beautiful. Moltres isn't really beautiful, but its move pool is. I mean, if you look at Moltres' move pool, it looks great. You could definitely use it in OU. You can definitely use it on a rain team for starters. What, Fire Blast for when you're outside the rain. When you're inside the rain, you can spam Hurricane, and then all you need is Fire Blast, Hurricane, and then what? What else? You need U-turn, maybe, and then I guess I don't know even what you'd have for the last move. Do you even need the last move after those three moves? I don't really think you do, but Molt. But I guess overall, it's going to definitely have to be Zapdos, though, because Zapdos just has the move pool that Moltres has, kind of. It doesn't have the Hurricane, but I mean, it gets Volt Switch. I'm pretty sure it gets U-turn as well. So there's no. If you really want to be able to swap out, if you really want to be able to pivot with a Zapdos, you can, because it gets both U-turn and Volt Switch. You can go for whichever you want. There is going to be nothing's going to stop you from U-turning out. So if you really, really want to pivot on everything, you can have U-turn. And if you want that stab pivot, you can have Volt Switch. And then it's got T-Bolt, HP Ice, and it's got Heat Wave. So it makes it's a great defogger. I don't know if it can anymore, because with the new rules. But yeah, like with the what kind of Pokemon you can use in the Wi-Fi and stuff. But it was a great defogger, especially in X and Y, because it got Heat Wave, which just annihilates freaking Ferrothorns and Forretress and blah blah blah, and then you can just defog whatever they set up. And also, it's a great stop to Scissor or Mega Scissor as well, since it has Heat Wave. So it's got so much viability in in the tiers. I mean, it takes on Scissor even after rocks, which Moltres unfortunately can't do. But so and 27 Lugia or Ho-Oh. I was watching Jedi's, Pokemon Tag, obviously, to find out what the questions were, because I didn't know what they were. And he got to these and he said a lot of people have been biased that he's seen as to, whether they played second gen. Like as if they got like one. I don't even know what the second gens were because I didn't play them. But if they got the one with Lugia in, they pick Lugia. If they got the one with Ho-Oh in, they pick Ho-Oh. But since I never actually played second gen, I think I can make a pretty unbiased decision here, which is going to actually be Ho-Oh, based off the fact that I don't like Lugia in Wi-Fi or in competitive, because it is just pressure store. It is come in, take a hit all at once, and just stores your PP out until you freaking have to end up struggling or conserve your move pool and go for something that's not very effective against it, and blah 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 blah. I mean, once it's stored you out of PP on your most super effective move against it, then it's just free to wall that Pokemon for the rest of your life. And Ho-Oh is a bit more offensively orientated with like Brave Bird and Sacred Fire and Regenerator swaps in, and blah blah blah. You can just smash everything really really hard. And Lugia is just way too bulky orientated for my liking. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Ho-Oh and tag two people as question 28. Not really sure who to tag, not really sure who's done it already or not. I'm gonna go with sorry about that. I'm going to go tag 2 people. Who the hell hasn't done this already? I don't know. I'm gonna go for the first one's gonna be. I'm gonna tag 3 people just in case. I'm guaranteed to get one person that hasn't been tagged. And I guess the if I picked one person that has been tagged, then the third person would be a good option. So I'm gonna go for 3 people instead. Hope you guys don't mind. But I'm gonna go for Jack, aka the Dumb Fanatic, and then I'm going to go so pick Jack, Dumb Fanatic, and then I'm going to go. Oh my god, I'm trying to think right now. Um, Third one, I don't know. I don't. And the problem is, I don't think he has a channel or not. I don't know if he does, but I hope he does. It's going to be Miss Sisbit, because I'd actually quite like to know what he has to say. He always has an opinion, and he seems like quite a well versed guy. So he's going to be there. And if either of those have already been done, I'm going to throw the third one in there that's probably already been done as well. But I'm going to put in. Actually, I know who to do. If neither of those two have been done, and if for whatever reason he sees this, I'm gonna put Magnitude in there because I'd love to know a lot more about Steve. He's hilarious. He's such a chill guy, really. I mean, mm, um, yeah, I mean, he's great as well. I mean, what he's doing for the community with the GBA, what his initial goals were, and wanting to help promote people. And on my old channel as well, he promoted one of my videos. That like the amount of views on that one video just shot up so much when he promoted me, and I don't know. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I'd love him to do this if he ever sees this video. So that'd be nice. But for now, if you've liked this, if you want other people to see it, then drop a like, and I'll probably retweet it if it comes through to my Twitter. You can just share it with your friends if you want them to see it as well. That's all cool. You're free to subscribe at any point in time. You don't really have to, really, because it's kind of more of a community-based thing, and I'm just taking part in it. So, yeah, but yeah, I don't know how to really outro this thing properly, so I'm just gonna go with bye.